All right, Sooner Nation, the man you have all been waiting for, the guy that we didn't think we'd ever get on the podcast, Superman himself, number 13 on the field, Caleb Williams. What's up, boy?
Not much, not much. How's it going?
Man, we appreciate you for coming on to the podcast, man. You have been highly, highly requested, and we finally got you on here. So, hoping we can entertain all our
Fans and what they
listeners for
want.
a little bit. Yeah, and give them what they want.
Yes, sir. If for everybody that didn't know, Sooner Nation, Caleb is my sneaker buddy, and y'all know I like my shoes. I done talked about it multiple times, and J Hall's gonna be like, "Oh, here they go." But he is my sneaker buddy. We talk about shoes all
All
the
the
time.
time.
So
Before
look at
every
J Hall
game, during the week, whatever it
during the
is,
week,
whatever you're wearing up top, bottoms, shoes,
everything.
hats, everything. We
What
talk
we
about it
want to
all.
get in the
What,
future,
what
just
we're
all
getting
types of
soon,
stuff.
what we got on the way, all of
You
that.
know what I'm
So
saying?
yeah,
Yo, I'm gonna
So
give y'all.
it's good to have another guy on the pod that feels the same way I do about shoes. Because J Hall be teasing me or whatever. So
I'm gonna give
yeah.
y'all
J
a
Hall
one.
walks in with some shoes that are questionable sometimes, but I let him slide. I let him slide because he's my old head, but it's cool.
I'm gonna give y'all a 1 minute limit on these shoes, man. I don't really care about that stuff, bro. Y'all see me walk in with my Jesus sandals, and
I your gray ones. I see them all the time.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, they're
yeah.
comfortable. Like,
They look comfy.
look,
They get the
give you
job
that.
done.
there is nobody I'm trying to hit on inside that facility.
You're right.
True,
You're right.
true.
True.
Maybe when I get to the league and I can splurge a little bit, I get my drip up. I'll give y'all a call or something.
I
There you
respect
go.
that.
I got you. All right. Not wasting any time, Caleb. Sooner Nation wants to know. We're gonna get right into this interview. First things first, your recruitment. Just before we ask any questions, tell us about how you got to Oklahoma.
Man, Oklahoma was actually my last offer. Of all my offers I had probably 30 plus, and from all across the country and things like that. So Oklahoma was actually my last offer, which is kind of normally isn't how it goes when kids go to a school like Oklahoma. They normally offer you early, and you end up going to that school after many visits and all of that. So I I was actually in Florida 2019, and it was January 1st, I believe, or it was right after the ball drop, something like that. And Coach Riley calls me, or it's a few hours before the ball drop, actually. And Coach Riley calls me and tells me that that I have an offer from Oklahoma. And after that, it was kind of I was down to a couple schools: LSU, Oklahoma, Maryland, Penn State, and Clemson. And I went on all visits. Went to a bunch of visits to all those schools, and Oklahoma ended up being the place. But before I chose Oklahoma, um, I was actually about to go to a bunch of other schools or a couple other schools, and not going to name them, but SEC schools and things like that. But um, the guy that was committed here, he's at an SEC school, and I ended up a bunch of coaches ended up leaving from the SEC schools that I was about to commit to and things like that. So I said, no, what, I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna be patient and kind of just see how things shake out. And I ended up wanting to come here after I got the offer, a few months after. And I told Coach Riley, because the guy was still committed, I told Coach Riley that I would walk on here, even with the guy committed. And no offense to him and things like that, but I feel as, how confident I am in myself, how much work I put in, that I can beat anybody out as long as I put the work in and keep doing what I was doing. Working hard, learning, paying attention, eager to learn and things like that. So that's a part of it. And then when I actually committed, which was July 4th, I ended up making like the thing they call the Sooner Summit. It was a big thing that blew up, and it was over COVID time. And me and my dad and kind of put together our own little recruiting trip and got a bunch of guys out to Oklahoma. And then after that, We got, I got to meet all the guys, and most of the guys that went on the Sooner Summit actually committed to Oklahoma, and I've been with them since January or August or whatever when the um, non mid years came in. So I've been with them and talking to them through group chats and hanging around them at the Sooner Summit. And they all end up committing, and we're all here now. We've it's been fun. It's been a journey, but it has been fun through all the ups and downs that we've had so far this year.
Man, you're ballsy, bro. You
Yeah,
said you were coming anyways when somebody else was committed. That was a 5-star. How what
yeah,
was I know you said you have confidence in yourself and we all do, but
yeah.
like how do you just say that I'm coming anyways? You know?
So we actually the quote is, "I'll walk on and I'll earn my scholarship." That was the exact thing that we said, and that me and my dad talked about for however long. We talked about it for a while, but that's what we said, and we were like, somebody else can have that offer. A wide receiver that I'll be throwing to once I'm starting, or a running back that I'll be handing the ball off to, a lineman that'll be blocking for me, whoever else, defensive wise. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just confidence that I had in myself that I've worked. I mean, I've worked before I even got to this opportunity to get this offer. I mean, I worked my tail off, getting up at 5:30 in the morning before school when I was 10, and did that for a couple years before I got to high school. So I used to get up 5:30. We used to call it Breakfast Club. Get up 5:30, or we used to get up at like 4:30 ish. Go work out at this gym. It's like a soccer complex. But we bring all our own stuff. And one of my mentors today, he's sort of like my uncle now, but one of my mentors today, Coach Mark, he was the head guy. He's also a strength and conditioning coach at a top high school that most people know around the nation, DeMatha. So he would work us out. He'd train us. Him, and also Justin Winters. He's at St. Francis, another notable high school back in my area. Um, and we'd be there 5:30 in the morning with a bunch of other athletes like Blake Corum. We got Jalen McCain. He's at Old Dominion. Blake Corum at Michigan. Me at Oklahoma. Jared Patterson. On the Redskins running back, Juwan Bentley, Patriots linebacker. We had a bunch of guys that are big names and things like that. But um, I I worked for it. That's simply it. I don't really feel pressure. I don't really feel stressed about a lot of things because I've worked for these type of opportunities that I've gotten this past year, and even before that, when I said that I was going to come here as a walk on and earn my own scholarship and beat everybody out that I had to beat out and work my tail off. So it was the work that gave me the confidence to be where I'm at.
All right.
That's a
I've seen that,
quarterback. That's
bro.
such a quarterback response right there. Hey,
Yeah.
coach, don't worry about it. I'll walk on. Just give the scholarship to someone I'm going to be throwing to. Don't even worry about it, coach.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've seen that too, bro. Like I witnessed you grow so much. We'll talk about more of that in a second. But real quick, one last question before we move into football and everything. Now, some people know and some people don't know. You were in high school while in
yeah,
college back in the
yeah.
spring. How did
That's
that
a
work?
that's another part of the process of getting here and setting my mind to something that I wanted. So my high school, actually, we've never had a kid graduate early. They still don't. But since it was COVID time, they didn't let me graduate early. But since it was COVID time, we were doing school online, so I had to go. I got an apartment here in Oklahoma, obviously, and I was here working online, high school wise, and I had five. I think I had 6 classes back home for high school, and then I got here and I had 5 classes. Um, and so I had 11 classes in total. It was. I mean, I say I don't feel pressure. I say I don't feel stress, but I think That time I didn't feel stressed. At least I thought I didn't. But once I was done, it was like a huge relief of like, I mean, it's 11 classes. So,
Yeah.
but like I said, I set my mind to it. So I got here and I was like, I'm getting this done. I'm gonna learn the playbook. I'm gonna learn the communication for the playbook wise. I'm gonna get all my schoolwork done for college, and I'm gonna get all my schoolwork done for high school. Because I won't let not one person hold me back, and there's not one person that can hold me back except for myself. And that was it. NCAA let it happen. My school let it happen. Oklahoma let it happen, um, and I told myself that nothing was going to hold me back, not including myself. And normally, when you do things like that, and you know, you set your mind to something like that, and you work towards it every day, and you normally complete that job.
I feel like we need to play the last 4 or 5 minutes of what you just said to every single recruit that comes into this place. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
11 classes, bro?
That's wild.
yeah,
I've never heard of any.
it was fun. Not really, but
I,
it was man,
well, let me
man.
say first, as an old head, I'm super proud of you, bro, because
Appreciate
that's
it.
something that has never been done. At least while I've been here, I'm not sure what's been done in the past, but I'm sure
Pretty sure
Brayden.
that's never. I'm pretty sure that's never
Yeah,
been done. That's
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Well,
wild.
it's actually never been done ever in like NCAA.
Yeah,
uh,
that's never been done.
Yeah.
That's
oh,
something crazy right there.
we might have the
Yeah.
Caleb Williams rule coming up next or something.
Saying like,
Yeah,
That's
no,
crazy.
like you said,
it
I'm
was
proud of you.
challenging. Appreciate it.
Now,
And that's
Appreciate it.
crazy to think that you were doing all that while balancing like spring practice. So I
Spring
mean,
yeah,
practice, spring first
workouts.
group workouts.
Yeah,
That's yeah, first group workouts. That's
yeah.
painful,
For those of
mentally and
you,
fit.
yeah, for those of you who don't know, that's what 5:30, five
That's
forty-five.
five.
Am I right?
That's I'm getting up at 5 o'clock, 5:15.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, it was. That's a you had to. I mean, I set a routine for myself. Like I was in bed by 8, and it's like there was no later that I was going to sleep other than 10:30. Like I wasn't going to sleep other than later than 10:30.
yeah. Well,
Because
hopefully you won't be back in that group anytime
no,
soon.
no,
So,
I better not. I better not be back in that
yeah,
group.
use a little bit of that QB1 power, man. But
Yeah, no.
honestly, speaking on to you real quick, just from the outside looking in, bro, as an old head, you really dominated the beginning of the spring. You know, I
Yeah,
honestly thought that you were gonna take over like the first,
yeah,
especially the first couple of weeks, man. I'm like, bro, this kid has the playbook down. You were making plays, you were
yeah,
executing the offense. And I honestly, I'm like, I'm one of those guys. I don't care how many stars you have because
yeah.
I was a 3 star and I've made my
Mhm.
way and I've seen 5 stars fold. So
Yeah,
I'm still standing, and that's why I don't believe in that type of stuff. So I knew you were a good player, but I don't give anybody credit until they step out on that field.
till they start putting
And
the work
so
in.
Yeah.
exactly. And so for me to
Yeah,
give you, I think as a freshman, you're the most credited player I've ever told other people about. And
yeah,
so but Spencer caught well not Spencer caught up to you, but the second half of the spring, he kind of
yeah.
fell off just a little bit. But you
Just a
came you
little
came
bit.
in strong. You came in strong though for real. And
Yeah.
I'm super proud of the progress that you've made. I know Brayden got some words for you, but before you continue on to the rest of the interview, I know I just had to say that.
Yeah, first impressions, man. I mean, hey, not gonna lie to you. I remember calling my parents at one point and be like, they're like, yeah, so how's football going? Whatever the case would be. This is before we're actually playing football. This is like scale and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, it's going good, Scale. I mean, they always throw the ball to us to scale, but this new freshman quarterback, he be throwing the tight ends the ball. I remember me and Jay Hall had talked about it before. I was like, I ain't gonna lie, he just threw me the ball a couple times. I'm like, oh yeah, I like that.
I remember. I swear, I remember having conversations with Brayden. I'm like, "Yo, we need to put Caleb in the game. Like
Yeah.
he throwing the tight ends the ball every play. Like I like this kid."
So that was
Oh
my
Oh
first
man,
man.
impression. And then as I got to know you more, obviously, like we connected through sneakers and stuff like that. So And then I didn't even know about the whole like 11 classes thing. I knew you were taking high school classes, but I didn't know it was like 11 classes. So that
Yeah, it's
speaks to
crazy.
like, I mean, off the field, I mean, you were taking care of business. So overall, my first impressions of you were great because, like I said, I'm like looking out for myself. I'm like, yo, he throw the ball, he be tossing it around. I like that. Before we get back to the pod, we just want to take a second to let you know about our new way for listeners to support our podcast through buymeacoffee.com.
By going to buymeacoffee.com/9x27, that's 9x27, you can super easily and securely leave a tip. Almost every bit of what you guys pledge will go to me and Brayden, with the rest supporting the growth of the podcast. It's really quick and easy. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/9x27.
There is no subscription or anything like that. Just wanted to provide a quick and easy way for you to support the show and our NIL endeavors if you feel so inclined. Again, that's buymeacoffee.com/9x27. One more time, 9x27. You can leave however much or little you want.
We appreciate you guys for listening and all of your support. Now, back to the pod. For sure. For sure. Well, Caleb, moving on to what the people really want to hear about, man, the Texas game.
Yeah.
Can you take us through the moment Coach Riley said you were gearing to go in?
So, man, early in the game, as we know, Spence was he was having a rough game in the beginning, early in the game, and for some reason the night before, me and my dad were on the phone, and the last thing we said, because the night before the game, I know I always get a play sheet, I always go over it, I always write notes on a play sheet, front and back, things like that. Write down my assignment, where I'm supposed to be, certain things, checks, whatever it is. And so I was doing all of that, and my dad ended up calling me while I was downstairs in that big old lobby we had, and it was kind of warm outside, so I was sitting outside. And I'm on the phone with my dad, and the thing was, there was a certain there was something in the air because me and my dad felt the same. We said the exact same thing, and me and my dad said that tomorrow's probably gonna be the day, or tomorrow might be the day. We said something close to that. Yeah, or it was something really close to that. I think it was a little bit more like tomorrow's gonna be the day. It was something closer to that than tomorrow might be the day. But we were on the phone and we both said it. He's like, go upstairs, prepare, get a good night's rest, wake up, be ready. And so, I mean, I always prepare the night before the game the same way. And I get my little popcorn, my little kettle popcorn chips that Rachel has for us. I get 2 bags, late night snack, 2 grilled cheeses, and I get a bunch of Gatorades and waters. And so doing that, I'm eating, I'm going over my notes that I wrote down and writing more notes and things like that. But that was the night before. Wake up, like I said, and I work out before the game, before everybody gets up. When Wiley was here, I was working out with him in the morning. And so I go upstairs, we're working out. I had to go up a few flights, working out on top floor. And it was just like body felt good, mentally felt good. I wasn't tight. I wasn't nothing. I wasn't any of that. And it was just like a really good morning. And we get to the game. I'm juiced up because we get our little pump from weights, and then we go eat breakfast, and then we go have our little pump from the media team. And after that, we get to the game, and there's just like a certain feeling or energy that I have. So I'm preparing. I'm on the field after I stretch and all of that. I'm throwing. I'm sitting down, taking it all in. And then, like I said, Spence starts to have a rough game, and I'm like, the kickoff return. or whatever it was, right? I look at
Yeah.
Jalil. We're standing up. If you go back and somehow you can see me, we're standing up on top of our white little benches. And I look at Jalil. I say, "Oh, this might be the one." So you can ask him. You go and ask him. I say, "Oh, this might be the one."
Don't
And
Okay.
worry,
then,
Sooner
and,
Nation's probably gonna fact check you on that. So someone's
yeah.
gonna pull that up. I promise you.
So I say to Jalil, I say, "Oh, this might be the one." And then it starts to go on a downhill trend, and I'm sort of like smiling on the sideline. You can go check. I have a smirk or smile on the sideline. If somehow they can find it, and I'm just kind of pacing back and forth because I'm at this point I'm ready, like mentally, physically, like I've been waiting. And you go ask JB. I was like, once I get my shot, Justin Bros. Once I get my shot, and I said in the summer inside the indoor, just me and him talking. I said I'm not letting it go. Um, and so like I said, starts to go on a downhill trend, and I've been told to warm up before in the game. Like Tanner comes over to me, he's like, warm up just in case. And so like I'm like, okay, I'll warm up. And I'm just warming up at this point. I'm just getting ready, not really getting ready to go in because I've been told in games before, which I never went in after they told me to warm up. So I'm just warming up because I was told to warm up. I go get on the bike, all of that. And then Tanner comes back over with a certain look on his face and he's like, come on. Like, and I'm like, all right. And so he's like, go to coach. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I've gone to coach before for meetings, like defense on the field, special teams, whatever. I've gone over coach for meetings, things like that with the QBs mid-game. And so after that, I'm walking over there and I'm like strolling. Like I'm not doing any type of, I'm not hustling at all. Like at all. I'm not hustling over to him. And I'm strolling because I'm just like, it's a normal meeting and things like that. So I'm just chilling. And so he looks at me. He's like, come on. So I'm like, okay. I start trotting. And he's like, come on, you're going in. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, that's what he said to me. I didn't get any fair warning that I was going in. Like it was one of those. Like I go up to him. He's like, and I'm not even going to him. I'm trotting to him after he tells me, come on the first time. And then he looks at me again. He's like, come on, you're going in. And so I'm like, oh, okay. All right, let's go. And I buckle up and I'm like, and then after that, I look at all the guys in the face in the huddle that are in front of me, linemen. I'm pretty sure y'all were in there, H-backs, wide receivers. And I'm like, let's go. And like, let's go. And we ended up going down and I think we got a field goal and he kept me in. And once he kept me in, oh man, I had all the confidence going out there. But when I went in and he kept me in after that first drive, I was like, oh, it's game time. So we end up going to halftime. And before I walk out, I make sure I pump the fans up. Before I'm walking out, I'm throwing my hands up, pumping them up, make sure everybody's up, make sure they see me, see my energy and things like that. And I get to the locker room, and I'm pretty sure y'all can remember I say to every single person in the locker room, we're going to win this game. And I go around shaking hands, and I tell them we're going to go win this game. And coaches included, and we go back out and we get back on the field and we're all locked in. We go out there with a certain energy, a certain passion, and we go and do the unthinkable. So,
Man, that passion, that I got to speak to that because you're right, man. The passion that not only you came in with, but that like juiced the whole team with, bro. Oh,
yeah,
that passion was unmatched,
that was
bro.
different. I get chills every time I talk about the game.
Yeah.
Every time. I get chills right now. Man.
Yeah, because we were on it, like you said, we were locked in. We went into halftime style. They walked up the ramp. We finna win this. We weren't even worried.
Yeah.
It was the craziest thing ever.
We had people trying to run up the ramp, and we were getting yelled at because we were trying to get in the locker room and get prepared. We weren't mad. We weren't. Man, it was that was awesome.
I wish I could have saw you say that we were going to win this game to the team. I was too busy throwing up in the bathroom.
Yeah, you were throwing up in the back. I heard about the story with Link and walking in on you throwing up.
Whoa. Don't. He told you the whole thing?
Huh? Yeah, he told me.
Story?
Yeah.
He told everybody the whole thing.
He told everybody.
don't say the whole story on the podcast. We just gonna leave it at that, okay? But oh man, now honestly though, like back to the game, that was so crazy, bro. Like from
Crazy.
my perspective as an old head, I remember us running. What was it, Redskin? For the fans and listeners, that's basically the fake handoff, and I ran to the flat, and then you kind of waited too long and threw it out too wide. And in my head,
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need to make sure he stays calm. Like I got you, bro. We're good. So I remember like
yeah,
any chance I could saying, small words of encouragement to you, like we got
yep.
this, we're good, don't worry about it.
And
It's just
we
like
and
practice.
as soon as I missed, we came over and like talked right away. That didn't
Yeah.
matter what the next play was. We talked right away, right
And
there on the
so
field,
Yeah.
explaining what I did and explaining all of that. And we just went back to the next play and
yeah.
went
I
down and
remember,
did what we
yeah.
did.
Yeah, I remember you explaining the play. I'm like, you don't gotta explain anything. Just play. Yeah, like, that's
That's
what I
what
was
that's
thinking.
what
I
we
was
were
yeah,
like,
saying. That's what
yeah,
Jay
yeah,
Hall and I were saying as old guys on the offense. We were like, hey, all we gotta do is make sure Caleb don't have to worry about nothing but just balling. As a
yeah,
yeah,
young guy, we were just like, hey, make sure the protection is crispy. Guys are running great routes. Like, just make
yeah.
sure he don't have to worry about nothing but going out there
yeah.
and balling. And
I remember
he went
getting
out
onto
there
the
and did that.
lineman. Yeah, I remember talking to Brayden and getting onto the lineman. I'm like, you have to block. Like, I don't want this
Yeah.
kid to worry about anything. Just go make a play. Like, let him go play. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want you to number one, playing in Texas is a hell of a
That
game.
was
Even
that was freaking
yeah.
awesome
Even
experience.
for me, just I have to just take a second to gather myself. So I could only
Yeah.
imagine being in your shoes. So
It
As you
was
know,
freaking
anything can
amazing.
happen in the Texas game. So
Anything.
anything, literally.
Crazy.
what do you think of when you think of that Texas game? Like, is there anything that comes to mind? Like any specific one line or one word or any moment? What's the first thing that you remember?
First thing that I think of, Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe.
Okay.
First thing I
A little
think of,
comeback
Tom
action.
Brady, comeback action. Drew Bledsoe gets hurt. Tom Brady goes in and he does his thing. And I always think to the moment where Tom Brady's doing this interview and he's explaining the whole situation. He's like, when you get your chance, I would have to do this to myself because of the situation I was in, and confidence in myself and things like that. How hard I worked, I was frustrated a lot through the times. First couple 6.5 games, I was frustrated a lot. Practice, everything, it was just frustrating. It was making me angry, um, and so I would have to remind myself all the time, when you get your shot, if and when you get your shot, and I kept saying when I get my shot because I was going to get it. When I get my shot, don't look back. And that was basically what Tom Brady was saying. Is when you get your shot, you only get one shot. Sometimes you don't even get that, but when you get your shot, you take it, you take advantage of that shot, and you go and do your thing.
All right, Caleb. Well, you've certainly never looked back and have been taking this all the way ever since. And like I said, I'm so proud of you. But last thing before we wrap this thing up, man. So a lot going on. Lincoln leaving.
Yep.
Spencer just got announced. He's going to South Carolina. Him and Stogg. Just a lot
Congrats to them,
going
by the
on.
way. I'm
Yeah.
happy for them. Congrats to them. It was a fun journey being around them. So,
Yeah.
but
What was your relationship like with Riley and Spencer? Like, was it smooth and everything? Like,
it was smooth.
yeah,
It was smooth. This whole Riley situation. I like Riley. I always liked Riley, as you know. I mean, I came here to be coached by him, but happy for him, his family, that situation that they are at. I haven't been mad at the guy. I was just a little surprised by it. BV, me and Spence actually. Me and Spence. We weren't best friends. I can say that we weren't best friends, but we didn't hate each other either. There's a bunch of other guys that I'm not best friends with, and I don't hate them either on the team. Everybody always tried to make a thing out of nothing throughout the whole season. Just throwing that out there. There was nothing to
yeah,
be made from it. I mean, it's guys that you meet all the time, or women that you meet all the time that you're not best friends with and won't be best friends with. But you don't hate them. You don't envy them. You don't do none of that. I'm happy that he is now at SC with Coach Beamer. Awesome coach, awesome guy, awesome family, and also Stog. Uh, and then Coach BV. Sorry, I've known Coach BV for a while now, just because of all the Clemson visits I used to go on. Um, and he's always had a lot of energy. Even to the times I didn't watch Oklahoma then, but even to the times that all the fans can look back to when he was here at Oklahoma. I mean, he had a whole lot of energy then. He still has a whole lot of energy. He's going to keep having a whole lot of energy, and I think it was a great hire to have Coach BV here.
Yeah, same. I agree. Like you said, the
Yeah,
whole empty that definitely stuck out to me, and so I think he'll be a great fit here. I'm looking forward to what he does, and like you said, I don't think they could have made a better decision. So I don't know him too
nah,
well, but I'm looking forward to chopping it up with him just a few. And I can definitely understand the whole relationship with Spencer because me and Brayden definitely weren't best friends. When he
yeah,
moved in my room, it took me a while to get used to Stog. Just
yeah,
that chemistry wasn't there right away. So I can definitely understand. It takes a while to get used to guys that you're competing with, especially
yeah,
competing to take their spot.
yeah,
Right.
So I'm pretty sure a lot of guys don't go through it, but also just real, I think that's just something that isn't really talked about a lot. You're not always buddy buddy with the
Buddy,
guy,
buddy. Yeah.
who
yeah,
has your spot. Like you want something that he has, so
yeah,
naturally there's going to be some.
yeah. I
Actually,
wasn't gonna
most
talk
times
trash
it's
about him.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
never
wasn't. I wasn't gonna talk trash about it. I wasn't gonna diss him. I wasn't gonna um, make him out to something that he isn't, or like I said, trash him. That wasn't my purpose. My purpose was come here and work. If the only thing I told Riley was that give me a chance, and I didn't want anything else except for a chance. He said, "I can't promise you anything but a chance," and that's all. I didn't ask for anything else.
for sure.
And so if I didn't beat him out, then so be it. That's
Yeah,
his spot. But if I did, that's my spot, and that's simply how it goes in my head.
for sure, for sure. Well, Caleb, thank you so much for coming on to the pod. Is there anything you would like to leave with Sooner Nation before you head out? Any shout outs, mom, dad, brothers, siblings, roommates, teammates, anything?
All my guys, as you know, at Oklahoma, all my guys that I have been here and been under the wing like you, y'all too, B Will and J Hall and all the other guys, and obviously my Dukes and Pops, of course, and a few of my mentors, but friends back home. But yeah, no, I appreciate all y'all having me on. This was fun. I haven't been able to speak on any type of
Yes, sir.
questionnaire or Q&A or anything like that since I've been here. And Link actually didn't have a problem with me doing it. It's just that was his role. And we were mid-season. I started playing and things like that. So just throwing that out there. He didn't care that if of all people that I spoke, because he knew that I could speak and speak well and say the right things. But that was his rule. We were playing. We were focused on the season, trying to get to playoffs and national championship. So I actually didn't have a problem with it because I was focused on that.
Well, Alex and the podcast on the Prairie Gang appreciate you for allowing us to be the first people in America to host Superman himself. So,
Yes, sir.
nah, for real. Thank you, Caleb. We appreciate you, brother. And that is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Up next,
Appreciate it,
we
bro.
have